Happening today, the trial of a Ware man accused of committing a quadruple murder expected to start today in Worcester.
Western Mass News reporter Matt Price is live in the studio. And Matt, you have a preview of day one of the trial.
That's right, Amanda and David. The person behind this alleged act is Mathew Locke. And after a delayed start to the trial process, opening statements are expected to be heard today. Locke is accused of killing his cousin's wife, 38-year-old Sarah Bermudez, and their 3 children, 8-year-old Madison, 6-year-old James, and 2-year-old Michael, in West Brookfield back in 2018. They were stabbed at their home while Bermudez's husband was away. Prosecutors say Locke, who has a history of violence, addiction, and arson, killed them while he was trying to find money or drugs related to a cocaine binge and then set a fire to try to get rid of evidence. This trial was originally set for September 26th, but was pushed back upon request by the suspect's lawyer because of a discussion about what evidence should be allowed, especially with how graphic this case is. Now, back in 2010, Locke had committed arson to his ex-girlfriend's property in Maine while she and her kids were inside. He was later sentenced to multiple years in prison for that. In this particular case, Locke is facing numerous charges based on premeditated murder and murder with extreme atrocity or cruelty. Prosecutors saying recently they intend to move forward on the theory of felony murder. Again, the trial of Mathew Locke is expected to begin later today in Worcester. Reporting live in the studio, Matt Price, Western Mass News.
Matt, thank you for those details.